What's up, everybody? Here we are doing I guess you could say, emergency reaction to the Final Fantasy stream because that's all it was. Because nothing else was good about that
Wow.
PlayStation thing.
Oh, ouch.
Okay,
Ouch.
yeah, we'll get into it a bit later, but yeah, the PlayStation State of Play that just happened today on February 25th went for 30 minutes, and it was something, all right. I'm Gage. I'll be here. Over there we have Kumail joining us. Down
He
below we
says
have
he's Gage, but he's heartbroken. That's his real name right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Oh,
Rahul,
no.
We're getting some Gage rage.
What up?
and we've got Robin.
I
Who would have thought? Not me.
So let's start off by just doing quick thoughts. Don't get too into detail. Let's just go quick off the top of your head. What did you guys think of this overall presentation? We'll start with you, Kumail.
Surprising, yet fine. Like literally just fine.
Okay. How about you, Rahul?
Yeah, I think it was fine. I think, not a huge amount of new stuff, but just updates on old stuff. So nothing that like jumped out as like, oh, this is crazy. So yeah, it was fine. It kind of met what I expected.
Okay. And Robin?
fine. Did you guys see that Elden Ring trailer?
Oh no,
Wait.
he's become
It didn't
delusional.
happen. Oh no.
Of course it is. Nothing.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Deathloop, kinda.
Nothing that I expected to happen. I wasn't expecting much for this, but I feel like it let me down everywhere just because I wasn't even expecting anything crazy. I was thinking like maybe we'll see a little thing for Horizon Forbidden West. Like not even like a trailer, just hey, here's a little bit of info, we're still targeting a fall release or whatever. But overall I found it to be a completely pointless waste of 30 minutes. And
If I can just interject
we'll
there,
definitely get into that. What's up?
I put out a tweet and I asked people, how did you find the state of play? I got 57 votes. There's still time left on the poll. But so far it reads like this: 2% excellent, 21% good, 28% fine, 49% bad.
Yeah.
I
Surprising.
wouldn't say it was bad.
That means
I-
51% of people didn't think it was bad.
I would say
Which
it
is the
is.
majority. That's quick math.
What's the
Democracy.
goal?
I would say it was bad because it seemed like most of it was pointless. Now seeing like
What was bad about it though?
Should we go through each announcement and let's talk about it as we go?
yeah, let's go
So-
and because that's the
the
thing.
first
There were
thing-
no announcements except for like one. So
There's
that.
The first thing was Crash 4 update for PlayStation 5, which we knew about.
Yep.
They talked about how it had native 4K targeting. They said targeting 60 frames per second, so not guaranteed.
yeah,
Adaptive triggers, 3D audio. They'll have the PlayStation activity cards, so yay. You can bring your save from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, so Rahul, you've got no excuse now. And you can upgrade for free, and that's coming March 12th, 2021.
and
So that
finally
was
get
a
back to that game too.
There's a weird ambiguity about whether it was free. Like I know they said it was free, but in the
Yeah.
actual conference they said details on how to upgrade or
Yeah.
like the price or whatever would be on the PlayStation blog. And I was like, why didn't they just say it would be free? Why
Yeah.
did they say that it's on the blog?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're kind of it's Activision. I don't know. Like I was a bit like, oh.
Yeah.
But no,
That was-
they did say it was free, right?
Yeah, that was one of those announcements where you're like, we knew this was coming. This is just confirmation of it. Great, get out of the way. Let's get on with
It's
the
a
show.
reminder. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
really tell us anything
But,
new,
but to
they
Gage's point, I do agree. Like, we didn't really need that in this
No.
presentation. That could have just been a blog post. It would have been fine.
It went
I
for
know
a
it
long
already was a
time,
blog
too.
post.
Like,
yeah, it was
this
like
should have been like a
4 minutes.
20-second, like he comes in, it's like, hey, here's Crash 4 on PlayStation 5. We got 4K at 60, 3D audio, haptic feedback. But instead it's like a 2.5-minute presentation. It's like, check out what the game looks like in 4K. And I'm like, bro, I'm watching this on the stream. It looks the same in 1080p compressed stream as it is on PS4 Pro. Look
I
at it
will
in
say the stream as
60
well
FPS.
didn't do too much good for the state of play. It
Well,
looked
yeah.
shoddy.
But it was
It
such
looks
a
so shoddy.
bizarre segment where it's like, you already told us this thing was coming like a week ago. You couldn't have waited?
Yeah.
But instead, you
Yeah.
told us, and now we have to watch this for 2 minutes, and it's just taking up time that could have been given to something else.
I've got a theory as to why they might have done this state of play, but I'll save that for right at the end. So the next thing they showed was Returnal. So death is only the beginning. The map changes every time you die. The same with the enemies. Mysterious items will appear that will grant you weapons, consumables, all that good stuff. And it's coming April 30th, 2021. Now, one Robin GL told us.
Yeah.
What did you tell us?
But there was a gameplay trailer for this yesterday. So why was this here? It wasn't the same. It was pretty much featuring the exact same stuff that showed today.
I also I just have like so much disdain for Housemarque now. After
What, just because of the arcade?
for one, after
comment?
Matterfall, which
Okay.
was
No, I never played that.
bad.
No, same.
It doesn't work. It doesn't feel good because it's a side-scrolling platforming twin stick shooter. So it's like, okay, you use the right analog stick to aim, obviously, you pull the trigger to shoot, but that means like your jump and stuff like that are on the shoulder buttons. So all of your stuff is on shoulder buttons, which just does not feel good. It's a very bizarre, like it's not a bad game, but comparing it to like their standard twin stick shooters like Nex Machina or Dead Nation or the other games like Resogun, it's not great. And then like, oh, we're not doing arcade games anymore because arcade games don't do well. And then it's like we see Returnal. It's like, okay, it's third person, but it's still kind of your traditional Housemarque arcade game. It's a bullet hell in most places with loot boxes and stuff like that. And we've also seen the comeback of arcade games. Like, we got a Battletoads sequel. We got Cuphead. Arcade games are still around, but it's like, oh, we're not doing what we're good at anymore. We're doing something different, but it's also kind of the same thing. And it's kind of this weird mix of, it looks, it
Kinda
doesn't look like
Helldivers
Housemarque
as
anymore.
well, combined
Yeah,
with,
it doesn't
that,
really look like Housemarque anymore. It looks like they're trying to do what everybody else is doing, and that kind of sucks because their games were so unique and fun that now it just feels like another third-person shooter.
Evolve though and grow and do new stuff.
But they're not doing new stuff though. That's the problem. They're doing what everybody else is
doing the same stuff, like reskinned as something different, but like the core mechanics look kind of similar.
And
I mean, here's the thing with Returnal. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's the definition of insanity?
Oh god, doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting something to change.
Yeah.
But now, all I was going to say about Returnal is like, if you were interested in the game, I think if you didn't catch the trailer yesterday, because I didn't know a trailer came out because I'm not too closely attached to it, but it was kind of like, okay, if you're interested in this, it was cool to see some gameplay because I've listened to some podcasts where people are like interested in it. And then they were like, but what is this game? Like from that first trailer, we didn't really get a grip of like what the moment-to-moment gameplay would be. But like in this one, it was like, okay, I kind of see it. Like you're in some kind of like dungeon type thing and there's aliens flying around and you're kind of running around and you're upgrading your weapons with your random upgrades and stuff. It's like I kind of had more of an idea, but it hasn't made me interested in the game if I wasn't already.
In space.
Pretty much. I'm interested. I'm excited to play it. I'll definitely give it a shot. But it's definitely one of those games that I look at and I'm like,
yeah.
Like, but it doesn't look like I need to pick this up straight away kind of fun.
Like, I hope it's PlayStation Plus. Because I don't want to pay.
No way.
I don't think it will be.
Yeah, it's not going to be, though.
No, April is that softball game, dodgeball.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about Knockout City, and I'm going to run this joke into the ground. I've said it on another podcast. I put it on the I've put it on my timeline. But Destruction No Cars. There's a 1v1 mode. There's a 3v3 mode. It's got crossplay. There's a beta coming with it. You can go on knockoutscity.com for the beta, and it's coming May 21st, 2021. Skip, just skip.
I mean,
especially after that reveal trailer they gave us like a week ago or whatever.
Yeah.
What a trash trailer. That was awful.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, and like it's like a battle royale with it, like the circle closes in you as well. Apparently in this, so it's like
it's also EA.
Well,
which
they
I
had
just
little gliders when they were moving around.
I see.
I don't trust anything EA does anymore.
We're discussing this on Waypoint, but this kind of game is one of those games that needs to be for free. Just needs to be for free. Yeah. Get an audience in and hope that audience stays with the game because that's not going to do well. That's not going to capture anyone's attention, is it?
Didn't it say PlayStation Plus?
I don't think that was the game they said PlayStation Plus.
No. It said PlayStation Plus for something.
I know.
Online
I mean,
some bullcrap.
I said that my guess would be after Destruction All Stars disappears, this might be.
That's where it was. That's where it was. Yeah.
What do you mean after? It already did.
Oh no, it's still on for this month. It's going to be on March's free.
Oh,
PS
you
Plus
mean it's still available? I thought you meant people cared about it.
Yeah.
The game could have been
But-
so good. Could have been
So
so
none,
good.
none of us are hyped up for Knockout City.
No.
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 So that's 3 games so far no one's interested in.
People need to
Now
stop
here's
doing battle
Hey,
royales. I'm just gonna
Returnal,
say
I'm
it.
interested in Returnal.
Like
Well,
Fortnite's still on
yeah, fair enough.
top, and Call of Duty is still nailing it with it. Like people need to stop trying to make battle royales. Stop trying to be the next big thing because it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Like Fortnite has been doing this for years, and they're still number one. There is no room
Mhm.
right now to, unless they do something crazy. It's like, hey,
Hello,
Twisted Metal
Apex.
comes back and it's a battle royale. Then maybe I'd be into it. But
I would really like to see a Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale.
I mean,
Shut
didn't we
up.
joke that Fortnite
Avengers
is
could be
going to add a dodgeball style
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah, we
game
did.
into Fortnite
yeah.
before this comes out?
didn't they
Yes.
technically already do something like that? Like during like a Christmas update where it was like snowballs or some shit? Or am I thinking of a different game? I know there have been games that have had like Christmas events where it's like, hey, you can get like use snowballs now. I know Destiny 2 I think had something like that for a while.
Just bring
Oh,
back
maybe.
Tekken Beach
was.
Ball, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
We'll go
Steady.
to the next announcement that was really surprising, and I was like, I'm all in this. So it's a game by a studio called Slow Clap, and it's called Sifu. And it's this
Oh, yeah.
dude. He's in front of this, like, I don't know. He's in a dojo of some sort,
Yeah.
paying his respects to somebody. Just walks out, just sees a group of viewers like, all right, you guys are gonna get fucked up, and just like bam, 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 and just the whole trailer is just fucking people up.
But
So,
then
yeah.
he gets fucked up, gets
Yeah.
knocked out, and then grows a beard.
Yeah.
Bro, I wish I could like fall asleep and just grow a beard like yours. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. So
Game
that's
looks
coming
cool.
this year, but no, there's no actual date on it.
Yeah,
So
It's
that's
kind of a
gonna be
bad
interesting.
trailer
What do you
too.
think it's going to be though? Like, is it going to be like a kind of 2.5D like brawler type of game, or like what do you think it's going to be? Because it wasn't
It
really
didn't look
clear.
like a brawler.
It
didn't
looks
look like a brawler.
more like oh god, what's the name of the game? More like a cinematic thing where it's kind of
Philip
forcing you
J.
down.
Woodward said it's made by the Absolver devs, so they must have renamed their studio or whatever. So it's going to have a great base for martial arts fighting / gameplay. So
Oh.
it's going to be a fighting game, but I don't think it's going to be like one of those. Like it's not going to be like what's that game that came to Switch?
Hades?
No.
Fury.
Side scroller.
Oh.
Scott Pilgrim?
Dead Cells.
No, I
I
can't
don't
remember the name of it, but yeah, it was like a
Super
classic
Smash
game
Bros.
that came back. Yeah, well, basically, it's not going to be a side scroller. I can
Red
say,
Dead Redemption.
fuck you guys.
You just said, "What's that side scroller on the Switch?"
Yeah.
That's what you
Shovel
asked.
Knight.
That's true.
Shovel Knight.
Robin,
Uh.
please. But yeah, Gage, what are your thoughts on that game? Do you like this look
I'm
of it? Or do you
excited
wanna
to
see
play
more?
it, but it's kind of the same thing I felt about the Switch Direct. It's kind of a bad trailer. Like it showed off the gameplay, which is cool, but the trailer should be like, in a fighting game like this, I want to feel the impact. Like I want to hear when he's punching, but like the audio mix was so lackluster, and it's like, hey, here's this really boring music we're gonna throw on top of everything that just kind of drowns out the content. I want to hear like make the punches and the impacts. Like I want to feel that when I see it. But other than just issue with the trailer itself, I'm super excited to give that game a shot. It looks
amazing.
incredible.
How about you, Robin?
I have no interest in it at all.
Ooh. Okay, Rahul, are you gonna talk shit, doggy dog?
No, I ain't talking shit. I mean, I think is like, I still don't really know what the game is. Like, okay, I know they showed a bit of gameplay. I still in my head I can't picture what the moment to moment gameplay is or what it's gonna look like. Because even though they showed gameplay, it felt a bit cinematic.
I think it's
So,
kind of
like-
exactly what we see.
Sure.
I think it's going to be like you're in an area and you just kind of move forward, and I'm assuming the combat's probably going to be super intuitive. Like you have to have like, I don't know,
Like
5 or 6
react to
different,
things or-
like maybe one face button is your uppercut for one hand, one is a straight, so you're kind of maybe trying to do combos and stuff rather than just mashing a single button.
yeah.
Or
It's gonna be like super
could be.
hot, where it's like punch that guy, but then like stop,
Yeah.
punch the other guy, stop,
Yeah, maybe.
kick that guy in the balls. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I
for
have
me,
no
it's kind of like I'm reserving. I'm going to be tentative on it until we see more.
well,
I'm
yeah,
not
we haven't got a specific date for it, so I guess yeah, it's one we're gonna have to wait on. talking of not having specific dates, Soul Ash was the next game.
Mm.
And they revealed it
Oh,
was
the
very movement
Pathless
focused.
Part
Yeah,
2?
the Pathless. Yeah, yeah.
When I saw that, I'm like, this is just the Pathless. Like, it is
Yeah,
almost
Shadow of the
exactly the
Pathless.
Pathless with
Shadow-
the Shadow of the Colossus, and it kind of made me lose interest because it's like, I still haven't played the Pathless yet, and I want to play that.
It
So
is a
I'm
phenomenal game, the Pathless.
didn't really pay much
Really
attention to
good.
this one because I felt
Mm.
like it was a little too similar coming out,
Mm.
6 months after or whatever. Still looks cool though. Like I'm sure it's gonna be a great
Mhm.
game. It's just kind of strange timing for it to hit soon.
Well, with the way people talked about Hyperlight Drifter and me playing the Pathless, I'm more interested in it now looking at it than I was before. But it's that thing like, am I going to pick it up at launch? Who knows? I don't know. But yeah,
Depends on
it
when
just shocked me.
launches.
Like, it's just shocked me. It was like, it literally looked like the Pathless, where they're picking
Yeah.
up the little things as you're traversing the
Yeah.
world, and they had the giant bosses once
Yeah.
in a while. It's like, come on,
It's
guy.
it's Pathless meets Haven meets Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
Yes,
Beautiful.
So what's
Yeah.
the hype level in this game? Or we'll wait to see
Yeah,
more.
I mean,
Wait
here's the
to see
thing.
more.
Like, I played the Pathless when it came out back in November. So I'm like, if this comes out in the summer, it would have been enough time away from the Pathless to be like, yeah, I enjoyed the Pathless.
Mhm.
Let me check this out. Different setting. This is much more like kind of futuristic. Like it's set in a black hole or something. I like the skating mechanic, even though it's basically the same as the Pathless. Like I like the fluid movement stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably check it out. I mean, especially if it's reduced price. Like if this is going to be like a $80 game or whatever, then probably not. But if it's going to be like a $30 game, then yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I can agree with that sentiment. Anything on that, Robin? Before I move on.
No. I played I played half of Hyperlight Drifter. I really liked it, so yeah, I'll probably check this one out. But I'm not
But
super
not
hyped.
enough to play the rest of it. Just enough to play the first half.
Last year was a weird year for me on games.
Fair enough.
There was one game that just made him stop liking playing games.
Yeah.
I think
I
that
wouldn't
was the
mention it.
consensus for most people, honestly.
Yeah.
Great game, yeah.
The next game was Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. So we saw like a bit of gameplay, a trailer. But last time we didn't see much. It's still coming in 2021, no exact date. But this didn't need to be here either. It's like
I kind of
waiting to
agree,
do this.
but at the same
Yeah.
time, this is a franchise that I've thought is the dumbest thing for such a long time because every game is exactly the same. But watching this trailer, it's like I'm still not going to play it, but it's about time they finally do something new after 10 years. It's actually 3D. You're able to explore the environment. It's more like Outlast or Resident Evil than just sitting in front of a really shittily rendered two-dimensional image that's on a cylindrical plane in front of you. Like all the other games are so like this dude made so much money, or dudette, I don't know. This individual made so much money on these games, but never really developed them further. They just kind of kept the same art style and stuff like that, and just kept turning over these games year after
if
year.
what you're doing is making
but-
you money, you're not going to really have the inclination to like divulge into like a different sort of art style and stuff, are you?
But I mean, you could put a bit more effort into it, just a little bit.
That's
Like,
true.
like, hey, it's the same game, but now it's just the console in front of you is a 3D object now. Small things like that. But at the same time, good on them. They made a ton of money. That's awesome. But it's cool to
Gage can
see.
now be
It's cool to see
disappointed
this.
in 3D. Yeah.
It's really cool to see this because it look like if it came to PlayStation Plus or something at some point, I'd probably play it. Like I don't care about Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't really care about horror games, but being able to kind of explore this, a haunted Chuck E. Cheese, essentially, it's kind of neat. I'd kind of be into that. So shout out to that studio or person.
Robin, what about you,
Chuck E.
Dave?
Cheese.
Yeah, shout out to Chuck E. Cheese.
Just shout out to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
That's what we've
When I
got from this.
Shout out
When
to
I-
pizza.
When I went to the States, I had a birthday there once, and I actually celebrated my birthday at Chuck E. Cheese, and it was great. Loved it. Anyway, that aside, yeah, I've never played any of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. I have no real interest in these like horror games. Probably not going to check it out, to be honest, just because it's not my kind of thing. I will definitely watch some of our favorite streamer friends playing it. Shout out to Mr. Mac.
Caesar Towers, probably. Yeah, Mr. Mac.
Phil J. Woodward.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Phil J.
Philip will play this.
Oh,
Wow,
of course,
Kamel, you could have said anything else. Oh yeah,
Phil.
Damn, that's messed.
Phil just streams whatever the fuck he wants to stream. You know,
Yeah.
you just can't tell with Phil.
It's true. Last night he
Yeah,
blew
I'm
out all of our
pretty much
eardrums playing Persona 5 Strikers. It was just the game volume was maxed out and his volume was so low. It was just all you could hear was pumping music, and then every once in a while it's like, "Hey, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? What about now?"
You all thought he was actually doing like a nailed-on impersonation of fucking Ryuji or something.
Nah,
Like,
you gotta
wow.
figure it out. It was stupid driver updates, stupid computers.
Robin, just before we move on, anything from you on this one?
No, I'll probably play it if it comes to PlayStation Plus, like Gage said.
And Robin
But
would just watch
it's-
PewDiePie play it.
Ah,
Favorite
fuck.
streamer.
Talking of PlayStation Plus, Oddworld Soulstorm, Gage's
Stop
favorite
showing
game.
this game. Just put it out already. Oh my god, this game's been in development. Technically, this game has been in development since the first game, because this is essentially what the second game was supposed to be. So they've always been working on this game to an extent. Stop. Just stop. You've been showing us this game for years. Stop. I just want it to come out, and I just want to play it. I don't want to. This is kind of what I'm going to say about Deathloop as well. You're not really showing us much. You're not showing us anything new. You're showing us the same thing that we already kind of assume. It's like, oh, but you can train all of these other people. It's like, cool. It's the same system as the original game, but slightly improved. Now they
But
each
Gage-
have different skills they can have, but it's like it's the gameplay. The core gameplay is the same. I just want to play the game. Just let me play the game. I'm just sick of these trailers. Maybe
Well,
like
you can on
take,
April 6th.
take your video editors. Take your video editors. Just
Validate.
train them to code so you can finish the game faster. Like be like, hey, you're no longer a video editor. You're gonna be a level designer. Go do that. I want to play the damn game. Just stop showing me stuff every
Because
3
that's
months.
the same thing.
But there's haptic feedback, Gage.
I'm excited
This-
to play it, but I've never finished an Oddworld game. I played them so
This
much as a kid,
episode
but
of
they're
the
so hard.
Sasscast is sponsored by Gage Ray.
I don't even like.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
can somebody please explain to everybody what Gauge Rage is?
oh, so basically there was a Division 2 play along with Greg Miller doing the raid.
Okay,
And,
no, that's not the explanation. That's not the
I'm
origin.
getting to it,
That was
dude.
happening there. You need to explain the origin because he questioned me about that on stream, and it's like I don't know. I just get mad at games sometimes.
Yeah, just Ben was like Gauge Rage and it's just stuck from there. Like, to be fair though, you get pissed off about like pre-rendered backgrounds and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I have a
so-
video. I'll send you, and you
True.
can insert it right here.
Let me
Oh,
guess.
we're going to talk about
it's gonna be
pre-rendered
like
backgrounds in FF7 remake, Doggy Dog?
Oh,
Dude,
Oh,
actually
don't
looks
show-
good. Actually, okay. Pre-rendered backgrounds, I hate, but the fact was the fact they were so bad. It was like they just ripped them out of the first game, but they've actually redone them and they actually look a lot better. There's still moments like when, not really spoilers. There's a point where you're up higher, looking down on a larger area, and it warps so weird because you're looking at all these different perspectives. That part's still gonna suck. Everything
Robin,
else
he's
though
grown.
is gonna look
He's
great.
grown.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
beautiful.
Dude, the
Normally
lighting,
he'll
the
just spoil
textures,
shit out
the
of the
loading
game, but this
times.
time he's like, not really spoilers, make it vague. Fantastic, yes.
Oh, I
Gage.
learned my
Yeah.
lesson. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson enough.
All right,
Dude,
fuck
I'm
off.
excited though. I'm excited.
So-
So is
Soulstorm.
Oddworld a free game for PlayStation Plus?
That's what
I
they said. They said it was
think so.
it was PS5. They said PS5 version coming at no extra cost to PS5 owners. PS
in
Plus.
April.
So
Okay.
whether or not that means
It's being added to the
free
collection.
game, or if it means like upgrade from PlayStation 4, which would make no sense, just buy the PS5 version because they're
makes
coming out
sense.
at the same
yeah,
time.
I'm assuming
I think it's a free
Free.
game.
because like that's
That's
where
a
the
big free
franchise
game, though.
started. So I hope it's free.
Now
That'd be cool. I'll play it.
here's I think probably the standout of the show, Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Oh,
Arguably,
let's go.
actually,
Let's
there's a
go.
couple. Yeah, so we saw more gameplay, another trailer, and it's been pushed to August 24th, 2021. But we've got a nailed on date now. Dude, I'm ready for this game. I'm
Dude,
so ready for this game.
I don't
Just
pay
give
attention
me-
to anything I see about this game. When this trailer started, I just grabbed my phone and got on there because I've seen enough of it to know that I'm super interested. But I want that game is so like artistically gorgeous. Like the art style, the animation, everything is so cool. I want to go in blind.
Yeah,
I do
I
not
totally
want
get
to.
it.
I do not want to have seen anything about that game. I just want to jump in and just enjoy it. Looks awesome.
Rahul, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. It was a great trailer. Showed a bit more of the combat stuff, which was cool. A bit more of like, not necessarily story beats, but like maybe some more kind of like things that are going on in the world. But I don't want to talk about them
enemies
because
and stuff like that.
But Gage just said he doesn't want to know anything about it, so I don't want to cover it too much. But yeah, I mean the little
fine.
fluffy
I don't really.
like spirit things look really cute, and
I'm the one who spoils everything, so I won't be upset if you talk about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically, like she puts this mask on, and
Hey, spoiler, spoiler! No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, she puts this mask on, and there's all this mystical stuff going on, and I'm like, okay, like I'm definitely. I mean, I was already intrigued to Gage. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm interested in this game. I didn't really need to see more, but I'm glad we saw what we did, and yeah, we got that solid release date, which, as Kumail can attest to, I absolutely called it that it was not coming out.
Yeah, he fucking called it in party chat early on today. I'm so pissed off.
like yesterday, I think we were in party chat, and Kumail was like, "What's your mad?"
No, it was today.
Lad?
It was literally
today. Oh yeah, he was like, "What's your mad lad thing?" And I was like, Kino would be shadow dropped. And he's like, "Oh, that's not mad. Like that's more likely to happen than it getting delayed." And I was like, "No way! Like the delay is way more likely." And here we are. So.
Yeah. And Robin, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, I can't wait for this game. This game looks fantastic.
I think we can all agree we don't need to see any more of this game now. Like, just come out and release date. That's
but the sad thing is that we definitely will. Like, as we get closer to August, they will show more stuff.
Yeah.
There'll be more media. So Gage is going to have to keep his eyes closed for more of it.
I think I said it. We were watching the stream, and I think I said this is going to be the best Pixar movie ever made.
Yeah,
and it's got that art style. Talking about trailers that we just keep seeing and seeing, it feels like I'm in a death loop now because I've seen this trailer over and fucking over again.
I'm so sick of seeing this game. I just want to play it. Just like Oddworld, except, at least the Oddworld trailer, they did kind of go over some slightly new features. This was literally showing the exact same thing they showed when they launched. But now it's but now it's actual gameplay. It's like, well, you announced, or not launched, but announced. You announced this game like 2 years ago or whatever.
We already got gameplay.
This is the same thing. Like we know what the game is.
James Bond music.
Which
that song was so good.
Honestly, it was okay. I've heard better. I've heard games with way better James Bond songs than that. It wasn't bad. It wasn't
cool
bad
on Twitter. So if you were just want to direct anger at him,
it had It had very good parts, but I feel like there were parts in that song where I'm like, why did they arrange it this way? Like, there's a few parts of the melody where I'm like, this could have been changed. Maybe they would.
We're getting night sets on the show right now.
Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna shut up about music now because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about half the time.
Yeah, you can buy GF2 Cool's album Night Cassette now on Bandicamp or whatever it's fucking called.
Bandicamp.
Sorry, Bandcamp, isn't it? And then Bandicamp is like the recording software. Fuck me. Oh shit! That's your next album name, Bandicamp.
Yeah, that'd be it. Be a Crash Bandicoot album.
I think Robin, you're probably in the same camp as us, where it's just like, Robin, you're saying there's a Bethesda thing happening next month. Did you?
I haven't said that.
Oh right, I thought someone made a joke about this being at the Bethesda conference next month. Like,
oh yeah.
Oh, you mean the conference where they're going to announce that they're Xbox exclusive? I'm so sick of that argument. Like, okay, everybody watching, just shut up about that, okay? Phil Spencer himself said they purchased ZeniMax not to take away options from other players. They did it so they could bring their games to Game Pass. They have according to what he said, they have no intention of making their games exclusive. They just want to be able to have the entire library day and date on Game Pass to get people to subscribe to Game Pass. So please, shut the hell up about, I don't know why people don't assume that Bethesda's going to be exclusive now. It's like, well, because the fucking head of Xbox said otherwise. And unless he's a liar.
I really wish.
Just I can't play on your platform.
I really wish that before Gage went into that little bit, like the camera like zoomed in on his face, like, listen, okay, like all of our other faces.
Just listen to me right fucking now, okay?
Sponsored by Gage Rage.
And that's the clip out for this week.
If they do become exclusive to Xbox, then oh well, I just have to play their games on Xbox or PC. It's fine. It's not that big of a fucking deal, people. But
PC, baby. And Gage, we came to the end of the show apparently really quickly. And
shit, what did they already show? God, what a waste of 30 minutes, dude.
Go on, just take it away. I'll let you take it away with this.
Just what a waste of 30 minutes for this show. I mean, come on. Half the stuff, and more than half the stuff they showed us was shit they already put out. Like,
We should probably talk about Final Fantasy.
we will.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about
Okay.
Deathloop anymore or fucking any of the other games. Like, we get it. We're
It's
excited.
good to get a date for Kina at least, because that was supposed to come out
Yeah.
around now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
they finally show the Final Fantasy VII intro, and it's like, oh shit, they're doing it. They're doing the PS5 version. And it's like, oh my god, look, it's captured on PS5, and then instantly cuts to something totally different. It's like, what the hell's going on? And sure enough, brand new episode featuring Yuffie as
there's
the
a
main
fucking
character.
Moogle.
which
Hang on a minute,
is
it's a Moogle
dope.
cosplayer.
Dude, I'm so excited for this because like it's kind of
So let's talk about it a
strange
bit.
because you would think, okay, well, I don't want to get too far into what I was going to say because it's kind of spoilery for Final Fantasy VII. So never mind. I'm not
Well,
gonna.
I guess what you're gonna say is like, okay, spoilers for Final Fantasy VII for the next 30 seconds. So
Everything
skip
from
30
here on
seconds if
out,
you
we're
wanna hear it.
spoiling Final Fantasy VII remake.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. 30
Okay, no,
I'll
we're
wave my
kidding. We're
hands.
kidding. We're kidding. But okay, we're not gonna get
I haven't
too
played
deep
it yet.
into hardcore spoilers. There's like one moment.
It's fine. It's fine.
Maybe-
I'm not bothered.
It's from like the original game. Like we're not gonna spoil anything that's different. So they introduce Yuffie, which is like cool. We get to play as a new character for the remake, but she's an established character. I'm kind of interested why they didn't pick Kate Sith, because he's the only non-party character in remake that they show for a second. Like they literally show him in Midgar at one point, like a third of the way through the game. But they,
Biggest story role.
I know, but
next
it's so
part.
bizarre.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, he's there. It'd be cool to see what's going on in that portion of the story with him. But instead, they're introducing Yuffie, which I'm still cool with because Yuffie's an awesome character. That's the thing that I'm most excited about for the
She was
second
so
game.
annoying to get in Final Fantasy VII.
Like-
so annoying.
Remake is an okay game, but I'm more excited for the sequel because of Yuffie, because of Kate Sith, Sid, Vincent, pretty much everybody else that isn't in this game. But
Who's the Sonon character?
he's
'Cause
new.
I don't.
He's
he's new.
he's apparently
Okay.
a new original character just for this story, which is cool.
Can
Somebody
we
else,
just talk about how good Yuffie looks with a little Moogle cosplay?
dude, it's
I like-
awesome.
The gameplay, I saw like a couple of combination attacks that were not actually like those sort of command attacks. They were just doing it naturally in combat, which was really interesting. So I don't know if that was just for aesthetics or if that's going to really happen, but that seems like a really cool new sort of way to play Final Fantasy VII.
I hope they
remake.
integrate more of what Final Fantasy 15 had with the I forgot what it was called, but like the team attacks you could have, where
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could have
Oh,
you
yeah.
know Jesus Christ, I'm forgetting their names. I literally have a poster right here.
Prompto,
Prompto, Gladio could do,
Mm.
you know, he
Yeah.
could like do one attack, and then Prompto would slingshot off of him and do an attack, and then they would grab
and then
Noctis,
high
and he would,
five.
just all these cool combos and stuff like that we didn't get in 7 remake. Be kind of cool to see
Mm.
that slowly integrated into this.
Yeah,
but
we saw a couple of things in this trailer. which was really-
Integrated, or do you mean
integrated. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Everything
Yeah,
about
you're
this trailer was awesome except for the name. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. It's like, why'd you have to
Hey.
make up a word? Come on. Like, it's not even integrate, it's integrate.
It's better than
Wait, is it
Project
grade?
Triangle Strategy.
Isn't it grade with a
True.
D?
Yeah, integrate. Oh my god. I cannot wait for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 Integrate Special Edition. That's going to be a great
Deluxe
game.
Alpha Plus.
So what's interesting about seeing Yuffie in this? So it's going to be called Episode Yuffie. So they
Yeah.
did the same thing with Final Fantasy 15, where we got these episode chapters with the characters and whatnot. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it ties into the main sort of storyline, whereabouts it, and like where it goes afterwards. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm-
assuming it's
I'm
gonna be
super
kind of
surprised.
short, probably like an hour or two, just telling this one
Yeah.
segment, and then it's gonna be. But this does open the door for more stuff like this in the future, where once the second game is out, we might be able to see, you know, a year after release, it's like, hey, we're releasing a episode that shows this part of Sid's story, or we get to see a little bit of what's going on with Vincent, stuff like that, that kind of helps fill in some gaps and
do
stuff
you
like
think
that.
it's the same development team in terms of like director and producer for episodes, or is it like a different one?
I assume so. I mean, they probably have a small, like satellite team that's doing the main development on this, but I'm still assuming you have like Nomura and everybody else overseeing the project, but they
Yeah.
probably do have one of
Mm.
their smaller teams working on these while the main team is working on
Do you,
part
do you
2.
remember when he was like, I had no idea I was working on this project when it was first announced?
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, he sees episode Yuffie's like, wait, what? I'm doing what
Yeah.
now? Okay,
Check
like,
your emails. He's like, oh,
so there's going to be new PS5 textures, fog effects, lighting all improved, prioritizes 60 frames per second. There's going to be a new classic normal difficulty. There's going to be photo mode. And you can
Finally.
upgrade for free. But we don't know about the episode Yuffie, whether or not. I think they said you have to purchase
The
it.
episode
Who knows
Yuffie
how
you have to
much.
pay for regardless.
Yeah, and it's
but
coming June 10th. So,
so far away.
yeah.
Like I was hoping, like, oh, is this gonna be like maybe Yuffie will come out then, but maybe the PS5 upgrade's gonna be like maybe mid-March, maybe April. It's like June. It's like, what the hell? Are you kidding me?
June 10th. Is that one day before Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart?
You
I
got
think
better
that is.
memory than me, that's for sure.
I think Rift Apart is June 11th. But yeah,
I still
there you
gotta-
go. You got your little 2-hour Yuffie episode to play before the bomb
Nice.
drops.
Yeah. I still gotta play through the first Ratchet and Clank.
I only just learned today
Do
that
it.
Yuffie
I
has got
recommend
like, a last name called Kisaragi, which is pretty cool. Because I always just thought it was just Yuffie. Yuffie, like Mario.
Yeah, they've all got last
Yeah,
names.
I'm really hyped to play some more Final Fantasy remake, and the fact it's Yuffie as well now that she's back in the game. Are we gonna get Vincent Doggy Dog? Is that what we?
Hey, we're gonna get them all in the next game at
Yeah.
least. I know that for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And I mean, something really strange is like Final Fantasy VII, like not state of play, but let's just mention it anyway. They're doing a battle royale game, and they're doing Ever Crisis as well, which is like what, an amalgamation of all the sort of Final Fantasy VII story stuff, like Advent Children, Crisis Core, all that kind of stuff, which is super interesting. But it's not
Yeah,
console,
so I
it's
think
mobile.
they just announced that on Twitter, right?
Yeah,
Like they just
Yeah.
announced those two on Twitter, like after or during the
Yeah.
presentation.
God knows why
It's
they did
like-
it, but
It's like why? Just
Why
stop.
mobile?
Exactly. Why mobile?
mobile?
Yeah, why mobile?
Why not just like give us a nice port of Crisis Core
why mobile?
for anything
Why?
else? Mobile
I would
games,
love a
please.
port Crisis Core, man. If they, because the thing is, like that game,
You can't even get it on your Vita anymore. Which
yeah,
really
you can't get on your Vita. No one has a PSP anymore. Like that, the only way to play it is on PSP from a UMD, or unless you had a custom firmware,
Yeah.
like ripped copy or whatever, or some
Same with
emulator, I guess.
Dirge of Cerberus, you can't get it unless you have a PS2. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's also on
That's a
Xbox, but
throwback.
it's
Yeah.
just you're
So
just
I would
that's
love to
included
see
in
Crisis Core come
Ever
back.
Crisis. But it's
Yeah.
exactly what we thought it would be when they announced. Well, I don't know if it was a leak or there was an announcement, but when these, I didn't see there was a battle royale, but I definitely thought they were bringing like Crisis Core to fucking mobile or some shit, and they've done it. Fucking mad lads.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna get it though because I'm me. But Gage, do you think they're gonna bring it to console later on, like Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition?
I mean,
'Cause I could
probably.
see that happening. Coming to
I
Switch.
would assume so. Square is. They seem to kind of understand that mobile isn't the best market for big games like this because they keep bringing stuff to other platforms. So I'm assuming they're gonna eventually say, "Hey, it's the HD edition," but of course it's gonna be like what they did for Final Fantasy 15, where it's like, "Oh, it just runs at 1080p on your screen." Like it's the same mobile game, but it just runs at a higher resolution to match your specs. And then it's gonna be, I don't know, they're gonna charge $30 or some ridiculous price for it, like they did with the Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition. But I would assume so at some point, once the sales dip on mobile.
So that
If
was
not,
the
fuck
state
them,
of
I'm not playing
play.
it.
That was the state of play. Comparing it to Nintendo's Direct that we recently had, which one was better out of
I
the
mean
two?
this, because Final Fantasy VII
Oof.
Remake.
Yeah, for me personally, I'd say this, but in terms of what was the better show, yeah, Nintendo wins.
Really? I thought Nintendo's show was
Yeah.
garbage.
Hang
like-
on, Rahul, what did you think?
I mean, I'm in the same boat as Robin, actually. Like, I was more invested in the stuff they announced here, like Final Fantasy and Kena, Solar Ash. But the
stuff
Nintendo one
about-
came out with more new stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Mario Golf and Project
Okay,
Triangles,
you're right. I agree with that.
whatever
yes.
it was.
Yeah.
But
Splatoon 3.
I'm too
No More
focused.
Heroes.
Splatoon 3, yeah, it's like
Yeah, No More
I don't
Heroes.
personally care about Splatoon 3, and like I like Mario Golf, so that was cool. And I don't know. I tried the demo of Project Triangle Strategy or whatever it
Oh,
was,
did
and it was
you?
like It was like fine. I actually failed the first time I tried it. It was pretty hard, and I was like, I don't really play strategy games, so I was like, I need to sit down and there's a lot going on, a
Yeah,
lot of like systems and mechanics that I didn't get, which makes sense. But yeah, I think there's more new stuff at the Nintendo one. So if you were more invested in the Nintendo ecosystem, I think you probably were like, oh, there's cool new stuff coming. Whereas for us, it was like, yay, we've
this
got
was
a
more
date
like
for
an
this.
update, and maybe we need to
Yeah,
like change our
temper
expectations.
expectations. Yeah,
State of
100%.
plays, well, state of plays, you know, are just updates to things we already know, and maybe like the E3 kind of stuff are like, okay, fine, this is your new stuff.
Anyone
like,
who thought we were getting Elden Ring,
fuck off.
And I was expecting something big though from State of Play
Clip
because
that
they've done that
out.
in the past where they've had State of Plays where it's like, hey, we're going to literally announce a game, but then there have been ones like this where it's like it's just the same. Like, here's
Yeah.
those games you've already seen. So it's like there's no consistency with State of Plays.
No.
Like they'll have one where they're announcing all these big games, and then the next one it's just.
And like
this.
some of them will be like super focused on games, like we had to go to Tsushima one, Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
And I was
They
kind
do
of
that
happy
as well,
to
though,
see
don't they?
more Ratchet and Clank here. I was surprised not to see any Ratchet and Clank here, especially
Yeah.
when we know it's coming out.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to do something closer to its release, do like a final like marketing push like a month before it comes out to get those pre-orders.
Yeah.
This is probably one point where they were like, we don't need to push Ratchet anymore. Like if they put Ratchet in this, Gage would have been like, we don't need to fucking see more Ratchet. Like it's coming out in 6 months. Like, but they'll do one more thing on it like around May just to like push the marketing, get those pre-orders in. But I don't think we'll see too much of it.
Yeah, I think out of the whole presentation, I guess Date for Kina was great. That new game, was it? I've forgotten the name of it already.
Shifu.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But I think the moment of this was like, yeah, episode Yuffie, confirming that's happening. Yeah, I'm so ready to play that. I'm so ready to play that. So yeah, that was moment of the show for me. What was moment of the show for you, Rahul?
I'd probably. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I feel like yeah. I mean, it's weird because it's like I've not played Final Fantasy Remake, so and I've not played the original. I mean, I've played it, but I never finished it. Like
it came at a bad time for you personally.
Yeah, so it was just one of those things where I was like, okay, like I'm cool. I'm glad that there's more content for when I do decide to play it. I mean, part of me is just like, should I just wait 10 years until the full thing is done and then just take like a month off out of
Gage can't wait that long for spoilers. So like,
let me tell you about the end of that game.
I guess Kina probably had to be the standout just because, like, again, like seeing the art style, seeing the cute little spirit things, like it was nice. Yeah, and I called it. I called the delay, but
and Robin.
Yeah, I'd say Kina as well. But I know we've seen Deathloop a lot, but I'm so fucking up for it. I can't wait.
Yeah,
even though they show the same thing every single time.
I mean, yeah, I'm just
that's great marketing because like Deathloop, you're seeing the same thing over and over again.
Oh my god, bro!
But this trailer's slightly different.
You buy the game, you put it in, and it turns out the game just plays the trailer. There is no game; it's just the trailer on loop.
You have to buy the game again,
and then you want to kill yourself. Yeah. Deathloop. Okay.
Ah.
You wake up in your bed the next morning like. Deathloop. What's this? Put it in.
Before these chests over there.
God, it's like a Groundhog Day situation where like you wake up on launch day and you get your copy of the game and you put it in and then it loops and then you kill yourself and you wake up and it's like launch day again.
And then one day you just see yourself in Mars like shit. Returnal.
Oh my god.
Okay, Gage, what about you, buddy? What's your game of the show?
I'd probably have to say Final Fantasy VII Remake, PS5 version. Because I
integrate.
Integrate. They showed a bit of it, but I can't wait to actually see what it looks like on PlayStation 5 because I mean
that stream did no favor for the textures.
I've definitely said it before. That game on PS4 Pro even didn't quite feel like I was playing a late generation game. It felt like I was playing an early generation PS4 game, just because loading times were really bad. Graphically, it was not very impressive, aside from the character models, which were incredible. But like the lighting, the textures, there was just so much about that game that I'm like, this is made on Unreal Engine, and I've seen other games made with Unreal Engine that are big, like Days Gone is bigger, has a fully dynamic night-day cycle that is constantly having to update lighting direction and shadows with higher quality textures, and it's just visually so many leaps above what Final Fantasy VII Remake was. And that I'm playing it, and I'm like, this game, like, there's so many cool things about it, but there's also so much that just feels like it was half baked. So this actually looks like it's going to be at the tier that you expect Final Fantasy VII Remake to be at. So I'm probably most excited to see that, so I can finally get back to finishing the game and getting that platinum trophy, because it's a
I think
slog to get through again.
my hype for all the announcement about the textures and stuff like that, because I was watching on a stream, I couldn't see too much difference between the two. But
Every
then
time
I
they did
did
the
see,
side by side, I'm like, this is the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
looking game. But there was like when they showed lighting and stuff, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that there's better lighting
Yeah.
quality and stuff. But yeah,
I
I'm
did
excited to see
I
it.
did see you say something to Matt, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling a lot more better about
Yeah.
this, because I know you definitely have got the eye for it, especially coming from like a games design sort of background. So yeah, I'm excited. But that was the state of play gauge. If you want to add any points or take us out.
Let us know in the comments what you thought of it. If you liked it, if you hated it, if you thought it was too long, too short, or anywhere in between. I don't really give a shit. I'm not gonna read the comments. No,
I will
Good
read
to
the
know.
comments. I will heart them.
I
I'll
will.
like them.
So yeah,
I'll read them and take them personally.
let us know what you thought about it. Any games that stood out to you guys as game of the show? Anything you wish you would have saw but didn't?
Elden Ring.
Just shut up, Robin. It's
Don't
not
worry.
gonna happen for a
Pokemon
long
Day
time.
tomorrow, Robin. You'll get your wish.
Maybe when
I
the
can't
Xbox does their next big thing, we'll probably see Elden Ring
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
in 2022 when they finally decide they're gonna release Halo Infinite. Yeah, we'll see you guys.
He's been GF2 cool. Rahul, where can we find you, buddy?
On Twitter at Rahulahoop with an underscore, and also twitch.tv/Rahulahoop with an underscore. Usually found playing Genshin Impact or Hitman 3.
Some might say you're the toilet assassin, but that's just a rumor.
Some might say. You'd have to check out the stream to find out.
Robin, how about you,
Yeah.
buddy?
You can find me on twitter.com at the RobinGL and here at simplysassivits.com.
And you can find me at simplysassyvids.com and the Poke Ramble. We've got a Pokemon Direct thingy tomorrow, so I can't wait. But Gage just probably cut this out now because I'm talking about Pokemon. But yeah, you can find us on Simply Sassy Vids. We've got our recent show. Gage, tell us about the recent show.
Why? Yes, we launched a game show called Game Sass, the brainchild of Bennett. Please be excited. So the first episode is up on our YouTube channel. A lot of fun. Go check it out. Let us know what you thought of it. We're still workshopping ideas, taking all the feedback and stuff, trying to figure out how to make the next episode better. Whenever that happens, it's probably gonna be like a monthly show or whatever. So
I'm doing
don't be
the next
too
month in
don't be
terms of
too
hosting,
excited.
so
But stick
have fun.
around on Simply Sassy. Hit the subscribe button and stuff. We're gonna do shows this weekend as well. We got Sasscast episode. That's all we're doing this weekend. We are postponing the Photoshop challenge until the following weekend because it's themed around Nick Scarpino and Andy Cortez in anime, and we have Andy Cortez coming on Out of Our League on March 6th
Ooh.
or 7th.
Sounds
Yeah.
right.
It's following weekend, so we've pushed the Photoshop challenge back until then. So we'll have a Sasscast this weekend to fill time and make content for everyone out there, probably talking about video games because that's all we're good for. Otherwise, we'll see you then. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.